Today, we're going to practice on multi-dimensional logic puzzles. The name of our logic puzzle is Shopping Trip. Okay, multi-dimensional logic puzzles. We're used to probably working with one grid right here. Has one grid here. Now we have a grid here and we have a grid here. Most importantly, this grid or the grids that you will find that are down here, they help you with finding the correct answers at the top of your grid. Okay, so all of these, because eventually you'll add more, all of these help get your correct answer here. Now, I'm not going to do the whole puzzle with you. I'm going to start you off to help you out. Okay, make sure you read the directions and you read the clues, the background to yourself. Okay, you may pause the video if you need. Number 1, Annette went shopping with Oliver and the person who bought the swimming suit. Okay, so we have first names, we have last names, and we have what they bought. Okay, so first thing, Annette went shopping with the person with Oliver. So if she went shopping with Oliver, we know there's an X there. Excuse me, my marker's a little bit dry. And she went shopping with the person with the swimming suit. We know there's an X there. So what we need to do, we need to match Oliver to bathing suit down here. And let me see what else we need for number 1. Think that's it. Let's look at number 2. Now, number 2 is going to get very interesting. Dewan knows neither Northrop nor the person who bought the slacks. Okay, let's start with the first part of number 2. Dewan knows neither Northrop, X, or the person who bought the slacks. X. Going to match Northrop up with slacks down here. Now this is where it gets very interesting. You always have to backtrack your clues. The one knows neither Northrop nor the person who bought the slacks. Now we have to go back to clue number 1. If the one knows neither Northrop or the person who bought the slacks, think about clue number 1. Everybody in clue number 1 knew each other because they went shopping. Okay, so you have Annette, you have Oliver, you have the person that bought the bathing suit. Okay, now let's think about it. Dewan, he doesn't know whoever Northrop is, and he doesn't know who bought the slacks. Okay, there are 3 people that went shopping in clue number 1. In clue number 2, you have Dewan, and he doesn't know at least 2 of the people. Okay, so it is safe to say that these other 2 people are Carlo and Edith. All right, because he doesn't know anybody. He doesn't know 2 people that went shopping. All right, it's very tricky. I know some people get it, some people don't. Hang in with me if you can. But we know if he doesn't know 2 of the people, we know he didn't shop. Okay, so he's not any one of these people. All right, sorry about that little rant right there. So in other words, Dewan, last name is not Oliver. We'll put an X here. Dewan did not buy the bathing suit. We'll put an X there. So this grid down here is just help. So we know Northrop did not buy the bathing suit down here. We'll put an X right there. Okay. Let me refer to my notes really quickly. I think that's everything on number 2. Now, let's move on. I'm going to get my next marker. 3. Also, you guys, make sure you underline your keywords. I wanted to do this video to help you all out, so I didn't underline my keywords, but I definitely will, alright? Number 3, I'm using the blue marker. Edith. Edith. Edith, who isn't Oliver. We already know who isn't Oliver. Got an X right there. Somebody, anybody, tell me, what do we have? You're right. We have a POE, process of elimination. So, I'm going to put an O here. X out this row. That's just the first part of number 3. Edith had lunch with Preston. So we know there's an X there. And the person who bought the glove. We know there is an X there as well. Also, we got to make this match up down here. So Preston and gloves, we'll put an X here. Now, we should already know that Oliver is Carlo, I'm sorry. We already know that Oliver is Carlo. Now, Edith went to lunch, had lunch with Preston and the person who bought the gloves. So we already know 3 people know each other and hang out. I'm going to give everybody a second just to study the puzzle while I refer to my notes. Now, let's backtrack a little bit more. Alright. We know Juwan. We already know. Now, these 3 people had lunch with each other, right? So, we know Juwan doesn't know 2 of them. Alright? So, that means Juwan, his last name is not Oliver. We already have it. His last name is not Preston. So we'll put an X right there. We have 2 processes of elimination. Alright. Put an O here. X out the column. And X out the row. We have another process of elimination here. And right here. Alright. So, Edith, who isn't Oliver, had lunch with Preston and the person who bought the gloves. We already know that Dewan did not buy the gloves because he doesn't hang out with anybody. So we'll put an X here. That's the process of elimination. Now, I figured most of the puzzle out for you guys. Took me 10 minutes. I wanted you to try to study a little bit on your own. Go back and plug in what you know from this side of the grid to fill out this side and complete the puzzle. Remember, this down here is just to help you. If it's incorrect, it'll throw you off, but it gives you extra clues. This is just like some kind of investigation, and they just give you a little more hints, a few more hints. All right, everyone. Thank you. Good luck.